in this world, on today's event, we're going to have a crypto chat. I got Josh from Blockchain into Burgh here, as well as Josh from Potcoin. We're going to have a nice little discussion and see what they've been up to. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, everyone. Well, thanks so much for being here. For those of you that don't know, Blockchain in Burgh is our Pittsburgh local all things blockchain and crypto meetup. So we don't focus.
Wait, Josh, it's really hard to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And make sure that you have the amplifier on.
All right, the amplify is on.
Perfect. And if you could just step over here a little bit closer to me.
Sure thing. Do that.
Let's get closer to the camera so it can see you. Perfect. Go ahead. Tell us about blockchain in the Burgh.
All right, sorry for the difficulties there. Yeah, blockchain in Burgh is our local Pittsburgh blockchain meetup. So we focus on all things blockchain and crypto technology. Not maximalist for any particular project. We've had people such as a crypto forensics investigator, a mining and energy experts, and economics experts, and I've had the opportunity to speak myself on some topics of like wallet security and that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun, very friendly group, and we are really looking forward to hearing from Josh in the city to tell us more about Potcoin.
Fantastic. So what year did blockchain in the Burgh get started?
We had our first official meetup in September of 2019. I got to join the first one with Rebecca and Laura, and we had Dr. Chris Wilmer from Pitt, who's written a book for blockchain and Bitcoin beginners. Since then, we've had Johnny Litecoin, we've had Rich Sanders. I've gotten to speak myself, and yeah, it's a treat. We really enjoy a chance to learn something new with everybody about crypto.
Fantastic. Can you tell us what's the environment like with the crypto blockchain space in Pittsburgh?
It's a small community, but it's a community that's really excited and doing a lot of interesting work in the space. So with Rebecca and Laura and Enoch, we have obviously really the height and the group there. We have friends who's working on a crypto startup that he's been doing some work in. Talking about his company is called Credible Assets. It's kind of in the beginner stages there. We have myself. I run Chain Toots, a YouTube channel doing crypto education. So actually kind of breaking down how these systems work. So there's no big crypto companies in Pittsburgh yet. We have a really active community and a lot of passionate people that are trying to put out educational content, promote crypto businesses. We have an individual that would like to put together a legal conference at some point on the topic of crypto and blockchain. So small but growing in summary.
That's fantastic. And what's the venue space like? Do you guys rent out a space? Or what's it? How big is it? You know, are you guys going to continue doing events post-COVID?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're planning to get back to what we were doing, at some point when we're able to do so safely. We rent out spaces in the north side of Pittsburgh. There's a Collab 18 and some other spaces there that Rebecca's going to be able to get access to. They're nice, shared office spaces. They're really accessible too. The north side's a pretty accessible area in the city. So we've generally had pretty good turnout for these events, anywhere from 10 to 20 people. It's nice and small and intimate, so we've had a lot of exciting discussions about what's going on in crypto.
And can you tell me, how did you get into the crypto space? What got you pulled into this?
I got involved in college, so I've been teaching myself how to code since I was a teenager in high school, and have had a lot of interest in things like open source and just the idea of empowering people to do what they want to do with technology. So as I advanced as an engineer, I got really interested in the power of cryptocurrency seeing blockchain as one of the people, one of the people control yourself and consent and not censored and those sort of things. So, coming up on it, 3 years in November, I started a YouTube channel and blog teaching people about how banking systems actually work. Since I'm a tech person, I love to teach and explain and learn about all the internals. So I've just been growing my passion and learning from there. It's a great journey.
I hear that. It sure is a great journey. We started our YouTube channel, I want to say about 2 years ago as well, with Bits and Tokens. Really just going to conferences, events, networking, and just kind of showcasing that for people to see, as well as, like you said, educating people, making sure they're aware of this technology and this space. As we kept doing that, I'm a gamer myself, so I've been playing a lot of games and learning a lot about NFTs and blockchain gaming, and I started to realize that we could take a lot of those tools that we're using for filming events and conferences in the real world and apply it to blockchain gaming and live streaming, stuff like that. So that's why I started Blockchain Universe, to be able to get a community of gamers and people that are aware of blockchain together. I feel like the best way to educate some people on what blockchain is and how to use it is by giving them gaming examples. And I really like to relate a lot to like Fortnite and how they have their V-Bucks where people can be able to buy parachutes and skins for their characters, but that's all locked down to Epic. So if Epic shuts down Fortnite one day, all of the money that those people spent on V-Bucks and on those items, assets in Fortnite, it's all gone. Whereas with blockchain games, it's interoperable and you could be able to utilize it in other blockchain games that incorporate that technology. So I'm really fascinated with this space and where it's going. And yeah, like you said, it's still like the really, really early days. So I can only imagine what's going to look like as more and more people find out. I saw a picture recently showing the amount of blockchain wallets that are out there, and it's still a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of people that are on the internet.
Yeah, and I love that you're talking about use cases, because that's the number one thing that I focus on myself too with my interests and my educational work in the space is I can stand up all day and tell people I think Bitcoin is really cool because of all the applied computer science and it's involved in it. And at the end of the day, it's really about the properties that these cryptocurrencies have and make it useful to people. So a finance student or a science a professional like myself, or a gamer, or a small business person, everybody approaches crypto in a different way and finds value in what the technology is in a different way. So that's what makes it exciting to me. I'm not just sit there and huddle till we're all rich guy. I think that the world is going to be a better place in a lot of segments of life if we continue to adopt this technology.
Yeah, it's an amazing future that we have ahead of us. So for people that are watching on the live stream, we're in AltSpace right now. There are 2 people here that are in AltSpace. Welcome. New people just arrived. I'm up here with Josh McIntyre from Blockchain in the Burgh. We're also going to have Josh in the city up on the stage shortly. He'll be talking to us about Potcoin. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit the raise your hand button. I'm going to make that appear now so that you guys can ask any questions of either one of our guests. What you guys want to know about either Bitcoin, blockchain, events. There's a lot that's going on in this space. It's great that people are connecting their money to this technology to be able to transfer funds in a peer-to-peer way. And I love seeing that people are now taking that technology and incorporating it with newer technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality, and being able to make different ways for people to interact with transactions and value across the digital space. Tell me more about the digital space in Pittsburgh. You're telling me how there's a nice tech scene out there. Let's hear some more reasons why people should come out to Pittsburgh and check out Blockchain in the Burgh.
But just in general, I think Pittsburgh's a super friendly place to be. I might be a little biased because I grew up in the area, but I think you'll find that if you come out and visit us post-COVID, you're gonna enjoy the people, you're gonna enjoy the nature and the recreation.
Audio is horrible. Can't hear him.
Uh-oh.
It looks like he's saying that he can't hear you. I will say that it's really hard to hear you, but I hear you a little bit. Is there a way that you can either get closer to the microphone?
I am actually wearing a headset.
That's way better now. All right. Here's some more reasons to get into Pittsburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Pittsburgh's just a super great place to be in general. I think the people are a really friendly bunch. So I think, if you come visit us post-COVID, you're going to really enjoy the scene here and enjoy talking to a bunch of the people that are out here. In terms of the tech scene, we have offices for Google, Apple, Amazon, Duolingo, Uber, Argo AI, and a bunch of different larger companies and startups. I work for Microsoft myself. There's an office doing Azure storage work here. And so, really friendly group and a lot of people working on interesting tech. Someone's phone's ringing. So is Josh in the city with us, it looks like. Ready to come up on stage, buddy?
Yeah, would you be able to join
I'm
us, Josh?
here. Yeah, of course. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can. Are you able to click on the stage? There you go. Perfect. And then if you use your W, A, S, and D key, you should be able to rotate. There you go. Moving right, and then just rotate. Okay, you kind of just went off into the corner. Is it not letting you rotate?
I'm rotating.
Oh, it looks like you're stuck on the x-axis. You're just going sideways.
No. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Hold on.
Gotta love virtual reality.
Getting
Yeah, definitely gotta get him a VR headset one of these days. It's awesome to, have hands in VR and be able to walk around.
Hey,
hopefully
sorry about the... Oh, just was going to say sorry about the audio difficulties. I did not realize that the mic was coming from my laptop and not from my headset, so I was totally pacing around on the back deck.
It's fine. And
microphone.
to switch your microphone options, you just click on the Alt-Space button, the menu, go to audio or settings, then audio, and you'll see that you can switch your microphone. Oh, we got Josh coming back. There you go. Now you're rotating, buddy. Click on stage and then rotate.
Try back.
You want to look back at the stage. Yeah, try and look at the stage first so you can click up here.
It's the keys aren't responding the way they should. I'll take it.
Hey, if you need to be down there, I'll take it.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna click in a weird spot on the stage. We can start.
There you go. Wait, not that way. Other way.
No, it's not letting me rotate. Well, I'm chilling. I'm chilling here with
technical
Blockchain Universe.
difficulties. Gotta love.
Yeah, it's not letting me rotate.
You're just rotating.
I know. I tried to get the Oculus, and it's sold out everywhere, bro.
Sure,
can't find them anywhere.
Man. COVID has created. All right, click that. There you go. Hey, we're making some moves. I'll take it. Stop right there. Just hang tight. Perfect. You don't have to click any more keys. We're set. Awesome.
Don't touch
Glad
the
to
keys.
have you.
Where's Josh? I can't see him.
He just walked behind you and took a step off stage. I think he's looking into his microphone, but I'm glad to have you up here with us as well. For those that don't know, I actually met you down here in Florida. Glad to have you in virtual reality. Welcome to my space.
Awesome.
This is where I do a lot of of events. And for people that don't know, bitsandtokens.com. I started Blockchain Universe to just be able to bring all the blockchain and gaming folks together. Blockchain Universe does events for Crypto Mondays. We do some gaming events throughout the week. We have a gaming podcast that we do in here, and I'm open to working with other people. So if you want to be able to have a virtual reality event, just reach out to me at Jerome at bitsandtokens.com. Jerome at bitsandtokens.com. But glad to have you up here, Josh. Let's talk some more about Potcoin. Let's tell everybody what Potcoin is first.
Sure, absolutely. Potcoin was the first use case of blockchain or crypto for the cannabis industry. We were there right at the beginning. January 1st, 2014, it was legalized for cannabis in Colorado. Our Genesis block was January 15th, 2014. Actually started working on the project in 2013, trying to figure out what we were doing because it was a very, very, very it started out as a great idea that a couple of my really good friends came up with and decided, wow, this is something that we should experiment with, because obviously back then everything was experimenting, and nobody really expected. We all hoped, but nobody really knew that crypto was going to blow up or get as popular as it did. It was just something that was kind of avant-garde and like cool in the tech space. It started out to solve some of the issues that were in the cannabis space with payments. Quite simply, it's not federally legal, so the cannabis businesses are not actually able to deposit their funds into their bank accounts. This poses a problem when you have a company that's completely legitimate. The city is aware of them, the police are aware of them, they've got business licenses, they're working in that industry, and they're not actually able to use their bank accounts. At this point in time, there were a lot of companies that had private security companies that had come out and started offering to house, or store people's money for them because the banks wouldn't do it. They were charging exorbitant fees, I've heard as many as 15-20%, depending on who you are and who your friends were. And, it gets really, really silly. The idea was that, hey, there's a cryptocurrency that can do this. That's marketed for that industry. That's built by smokers for smokers. And that's how the whole thing started. It was a wonderful adventure. Very, very, very similar to the way your room is starting now. I mean, obviously you're not new to this. You've been doing this for quite a few years. But a lot of people in the mainstream, this is something that they're going to get more and more exposed to. And so I'm a big fan of what you're doing, Jerome. I love Bits and Tokens, and very happy to be here. And there's a lot going on. Since this is supposed to be an event for the Burgh, I thought maybe we should talk a little bit about what the situation is in Pittsburgh. Josh, are you still online?
He's still here, but we were actually talking about that. I set up a video that's going to pop up on the screen any second now to show people a little bit about what is Potcoin as well. That I believe is the video from you guys' YouTube channel.
Right on.
The animated video, so that should appear on the screen behind you any second now. There's a little bit of a delay from when you click the button on my computer to when it appears in Altspace, but yeah, just wanted to make sure people were more aware of what you can do and the different use cases that you can utilize Bitcoin as well as other cryptocurrencies.
What is Potcoin?
The video's appearing now.
Potcoin is the first decentralized currency for the legal marijuana industry. Potcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet. Potcoins have a number of advantages. Potcoins are transferred directly from person to person via the net. This means that the fees are much lower. You can use them in every country. Your account cannot be frozen, and there are no prerequisites or arbitrary limits. Let's look at how it works. Your Potcoins are kept in your digital wallet on your computer or mobile device.
I'm watching it. Can you not see it?
Is as simple as sending an email, and you can purchase anything with Potcoin. The Potcoin network is secured by thousands of computers using state-of-the-art encryption.
Yep, I'll let you know when it's done.
Join the Potcoin network, and the software is completely open source, so anyone can review the code. Potcoin opens up a whole new platform for innovation. Potcoin is changing finance the same way the web changed publishing. When everyone has access to a global market, great ideas flourish.
All right, that was fantastic. So yeah, great little video introduction on what is Potcoin for those that haven't seen it. Tell us more about, when you guys started Potcoin and that journey from when you started Potcoin to now.
It's been a long road. We frankly really expected legalization federally to happen sooner. In which case, we had other options of use cases for our coin. It's a double-edged sword because as smokers, obviously, we want legalization, and of course, we don't want to how do I say this? We don't want to overstep our bounds as individuals with families. In the cryptocurrency space, we've always been a bit of the black sheep because we were dealing with both crypto and cannabis. And of course, in both industries we're at that point, we're pretty taboo. So our journey has been really quite a long one, longer than we expected, and more up and down. I mean, we've been waiting for not only for people to understand crypto in the real world. I want to say in the real world, with the normies, with the average person, and we've also been waiting for cannabis to be legalized for quite a long time. It's a very slow, long process. It's understandable. Just, I guess, my feeling is that it's taken so much time because there's so much adjustments that need to be made, and there's a lot that the cannabis space can do for the world in terms of medicine, in terms of people using it in terms of medicine. I've even seen plenty of people that I know in the industry who've actually been using certain tinctures and stuff to help their children when their children are sick, with epilepsy. I've got a good buddy who's epileptic who actually uses products all the time, and it helps him out. The road has been long, and I think that tells you how much value there is along the road. And I expect over the course of the next 2 to 3 years that we're going to have a lot more changes, a lot more opening up. We're really excited about it. I mean, we've been working on things for quite a long time, and sort of need certain things to happen, with the government in order for things to get rolling more. In Canada, we've been very lucky. We're legalized here in Canada, so I'm really excited about that. Since 2017.
Yeah, I really wanted to touch on that. What's I guess the main target, the US or Canada, and what have you guys been doing since the legalization in some states in the US as well as the full legalization in Canada?
Okay, so we have a long-term plan in mind. This is something that we've been working towards since 2017, actually, and how do I say this without revealing everything that we're working towards? My best answer for that would be, listen, we've got a ton of dispensaries who are accepting us. A lot of those dispensaries, they really talk about the long road. A lot of those dispensaries, they're not quite sure what to do with their taxes. Are they supposed to pay taxes on this? How are they paying taxes? They go to their accountants. The accountants don't know how to handle it. We've got a ton of people accepting, but not everybody necessarily openly advertises that they're accepting. There's a lot of coins that we know of that are off of the exchanges and off the books that are being tossed around here and there for different things. And it's a very challenging time. It's like Bitcoin. It's like I personally think that it's great that people are getting use for Potcoin off the exchanges, that people are doing stuff with it, and of course our goal is to handle everything properly for legal cannabis businesses, and of course it's like Nike. You make the shoes. What people decide to use the shoes for is a whole other thing, and us, we look at ourselves as, okay, well, we're making the shoes, or we're making the hats. People do whatever they want with those at that point. So it gets a little sticky, and that I think has been the biggest challenge for Potcoin since day one. Back in the day, in 2014, 2015, we had ATM machines dedicated for Potcoin in dispensaries in Colorado, and dispensary owners loved it. They were so happy that they had another option. Okay, well, you know what? Even if they weren't, and they definitely weren't expecting to get 90% of their funds in Potcoin. They were expecting to get I don't know, 3%, 5%, 10%, 15%. They were expecting to get smaller amounts of their transactions in Potcoin. The occasional person coming in, and some of the tech people loved it, but the average cannabis consumer back then was definitely not interested. For them, it was like, well, why do I have to have this? And why do I have to wallet? And why do I have to use this ATM machine? What can't I just give you guys cash? So we actually knew of dispensaries that were actually, taking cash that was given into them and then running to the ATM machine and putting it in the ATM machine and getting Potcoin with it and holding onto the Potcoin because they thought that was a better option than having somebody else charge them money to store some of their cash. It's been a very, very interesting road. And I think we're at, some real pivotal points in the United States with what's going on with the economy, aware of digital currencies, awareness.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah, I think. So, go ahead.
I don't know if you saw that Bernie Sanders was pushing for due to everything that's going on with George Floyd and the protests in the U.S., there's been a push for criminal reform, and Bernie Sanders, the amendment king, went ahead and added on an amendment to that push to make it so that way we could be able to legalize cannabis with that same criminal justice reform, because really it doesn't make any sense to really push for criminal justice if we still have cannabis as an illegal substance and locking up so many Americans. So if we could be able to legalize that would also decrease a lot of the work for cops as well as the arrests that are out there, letting go a lot of the people that are in jail and not being a benefit to our society by having a job and working, because of the fact that they're locked up for selling cannabis, which is ridiculous. How does Potcoin really, I guess, tie into the legalization process? How do you guys see that working together as weed becomes more illegal?
We're looking for organizations currently to work with in regards to that. Just had some wonderful conversations with some wonderful foundations that are lobbying for legalization. One of my personal favorite is Last Prisoner Project. I don't know if you know them. Steve D'Angelo is part of that project. Obviously it's his project. And basically, they're helping people who've been charged with ridiculous laws for marijuana, and they're helping them get out of jail. I mean, this is the type of thing that everybody should be involved with in this space. If you're a smoker, there are a ton of people, as you said, there are a ton of people who have been thrown in jail for the most ridiculous reasons in the United States. And it's sad. I mean, we all know how that works. Privatization of the jails. And people are making money off of it. People are making a lot of money off of it. It's very sad that you have people that are taken away from their families, or you have families with people who have illnesses and they consume cannabis because it helps them. People who have MS. I have somebody in my extended family who had MS. And cannabis helped them massively. I mean, the only time that they were completely paralyzed, and the only time that they were able to move at all was after smoking weed. And so, you have families and people who are, consuming for these reasons, and what we're going to take them away from their families if their husband or your a family member, their son is driving around with cannabis in their car for that person. It's very sad, especially when you look at the statistics and you see how much issue there is with alcohol in this country, and then not saying that I'm anti-alcohol, but saying that I'm pro responsibility. And people should be responsible for their actions. I fully endorse that, and I just think that there's a lot of issues when it comes to legalization. We're very much interested in working with some of the vetted organizations that we know that are doing fantastic things, with legalization, with lobbying, and also helping people who've been wrongfully accused or accused for the most ridiculous reasons and sent to jail and taken from their families. It's never there's so many things that we can do in this world, and this country has so much power. Why should we be spending energy, time, taxpayers' money for things that are just so ridiculous that end up taking people away from their families? It's very sad to me, and it's something that I'm personally emotionally invested in. Growing up in the United States, I've seen a lot of things happen, and it's something that needs to be changed. And if Bernie Sanders is doing that, then I'm loving that part of what he's doing. It's fantastic. I mean, if he can get away with it, I'm all for it. It's what the United States needs. It's what the United States needs. And frankly, we feel that Potcoin, was made for to be used as a tool for this industry, and made to be used as a tool for all of these things. And I think what people don't understand is that a lot of people look at projects, they look at at cryptocurrencies, and some are there for the day trading. Obviously, we know that money brings in new users and adoption, all that stuff. But I think a lot of people think that Potcoin is some sort of way more, is an organization that's sort of like, oh, they're kind of doing their thing, and they don't realize that we actually set this up so that it could be a tool for the cannabis users, not just some company. If we wanted a company for this, we would have set a company up years ago for it. We would have had all sorts of different roads to go down, and that's what's been challenging for us in the crypto space, is that people really have this vibe like, oh, everybody's got a project and we all need to do our own projects, and we love that. But the fact of the matter is that we're all here. We're here to work together, and this, I guess you could take this as a call to arms for all the cryptocurrency, blockchain, cannabis projects, and I'll start small with that, because my feeling is that all the good projects in crypto need to come together. But let's just start with the cannabis projects and say, it's about time that everybody gets together and starts working together. I mean, we're here for a purpose. We have strength. We have more strength in numbers. I think that we all need to sort of, and I'm probably a prime example of this. We all need to sort of drop, our ownership feelings of what we're working on, and realize that every single one of us really wants the same thing. If you're not here as a day trader, my bet is that you're here because you believe in blockchain, you believe in crypto, you believe in what we can do and the power of that, and how that can change the world. And if you're here for that reason, first thing I tell you is please reach out to me, because myself and a bunch of wonderful people that I'm surrounded with, are all interested in connecting all these people and these projects. I mean, it's about time that we take this by storm and take it together.
Yeah, man, preach.
Thanks, man.
That's the whole point of this room and this world, to be able to link us Bitcoiners together, no matter if you're in the same country or not. I love that there's a world, if you walk down the hall, and you can be able to see where everybody in here is located, just like in a regional basis via your IP. And it's really awesome to be able to see people from all over the map. I've seen people in Africa, Australia, all over Europe popping up on that globe. And just, it's awesome having so many Bitcoiners and blockchain enthusiasts from all over the world coming together. And I want to create more events for that community, get us together to do more and to create more use cases, so that way other people that aren't in VR, that don't know about Bitcoin or blockchain, which, trust me, I run into those people every single day. It's great to be able to, create events where they could be able to see this and it could be showcased to them. Is there any events that you guys over at Potcoin have been doing?
Yeah, we just did Bad Crypto. It's awesome. Love those guys. They're hilarious. Had a great time with those guys. I'm talking to a lot of people about doing a bunch of different events, and YouTube interviews and stuff like that. Yeah, I think the space just needs to get bigger, and I think the thing that we all need to do, as you're saying, is we all just kind of need to band together and start working together. And what I was starting to say before is Potcoin is not my project. I'm not the guy who fell asleep one night and woke up at 3 a.m. with this wonderful idea. I'm the guy who is going to use Potcoin to purchase my cannabis with a license. I'm that guy. And I'm here because I believe that this project is an ideal tool, not only for the crypto people, in terms of adoption, but for the cannabis people in terms of freedom. And as someone who would like to have my own project, I realized that the best thing that I could really do for the space, if I just took my ego out of it, and the best thing that I could really do for this space is get together with other like-minded people, choose a tool, and work towards towards the future with that tool. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here doing cool things like this with you, Jerome. With the Burgh, and that's why I do a little bit of traveling and go to some of these events, and some people have actually come up to me and say, okay, but you're not the founder. Said, no, I'm not the founder. It wasn't my idea, but I believe in it, and I'm here for that. And I think that we all need to work together. And so what I would say is that there's a lot of awesome projects out there. I mean, contact us, please. Let's work together. It doesn't even have to be under a moniker of Potcoin. What that means is that Potcoin to me is a tool, and if there's something that Potcoin can do to further adoption in the crypto cannabis space, being used as a tool and seeing that adoption to crypto overall is just as important to us as this project as a whole. They're really one and the same, and I believe that I speak for all the guys that are on the team. We all feel that crypto is just a gift that was given to us, and that is a wonderful opportunity for us to make a difference without waving knives and guns in the streets. I mean, we can actually take control of our industry and make the decisions for our industry, and use that power of the average person to make a difference and make a change and do something that is honest and good for the world. And so I guess I'm super passionate and super excited about all that stuff. So if there's anybody out there listening who has any questions, obviously please contact me. I know this probably sounds like an outro, but I don't mean it as an outro, but I'm just going to say it now. If there's anybody out there that's interested in working with us, that has any that needs help within the crypto cannabis space, please reach out to us. In the cannabis space, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to make connections and join people together. And we want to create a world where crypto is going to make some changes. And in some ways, I really think that this pandemic is a wake-up call for all of us. We had the opportunity now to take a lot of the people that are angry and show them that there are ways that they can make a difference, and that they can change the narrative of the story, that they can take the control and put in their hands and do it a way that's with respect to all the people around them. And I'm not talking about tearing down the statues and stuff. Everybody has their reason for doing something, but I'm telling you that there's a lot of mom and pops at home that have kids that are like, I don't want to go out and protest, but I want to make a change. Where are they? We should be right now. This is a wake-up call for crypto, okay? We should be right now talking to every single one of those people and telling them all the good things about blockchain and crypto, and we're not. So I think that this is a real big wake-up call. I'm not saying that nobody is, but I'm saying that certainly not enough of us are. And we believe, I think I speak for everybody, in the community for Potcoin, that Potcoin is a really good opening conversation to a community who feels strong about cannabis, and opening those conversations and those doors for those people to not only understand and use crypto for the first time, but to also have their eyes open to what blockchain and cryptocurrency can do. So we're really excited about the things that are coming next, and I'm super. I feel like I'm super bullish. And I don't necessarily mean that in price. I mean that in terms of where the project is going and what you're going to see from us over the next few years. We've had a lot of challenging years behind us, and I think that those years and some of the things that have come with those years have led to us just really, having the time to be educated as to what is really in this industry and what's going on in this industry and where our spot lies. I mean, you can't be a seasoned vet unless you've been out there and been in the trenches, right? So that's what we've done, and we're very fortunate to have gone through all the things that we've gone through and be sitting here, in 2020 and be here with a wonderful game plan and the wonderful people that we have behind us now to really make things happen. So. Yeah.
So let us know, how can you get Potcoin, and what are the exchanges that I can use it on?
So there's a couple of great ones. Actually, they're all great. Here, a little echo here. Somebody have a question? No, I heard.
I think Josh was just saying that he'd love to know as well. He wants to know where to get some Potcoin.
Yeah, sure. Listen, one of my personal favorite is ChangeAngel.io. There's a lot of exchanges out there. This specific exchange turns around and they take, rather than charging people for listings, they turn around and give a percentage of their trading fees and stuff. They give it back to the community in one way, shape, or form. Potcoin itself is not able to accept donations like that, but they've put those coins back into certain initiatives that community members wanted to do. So they're definitely one of my favorite, because it's just an outstanding business model, if you ask me. Bittrex has been extremely supportive over the years. I can't say enough good things about Bittrex. We started working with them very, very early on, and they've been very supportive. There have been times where we were in low seasons and stuff, and it could have been very easy for them to make changes or drop us or this and that. They've always been very, very supportive. They believe in our project, obviously, and we're very thankful for that. I think that they see the vision and they see where we're going, and they know that we're working very hard to those things. So for me, that is the sign of a really, really great exchange. So that's certainly a fantastic option. Bittrex Global. We're on VCC Exchange, which is from Vietnam. They license some of the liquidity or the back end, and I'm not sure which one offhand, from Bittrex. And except for their marketing towards different areas, they still have access to the VND. I think you were able to trade in Vietnamese dollars as well on their exchange, which is fantastic, as well as USD and Canadian. Although that may have changed within the last month. I know there was something coming up with that. So Swap Zone has just added us. Fantastic swap as well. And actually there's another one that's relatively new that I'm a big fan of. Trade Ogre. I don't know if you guys know Trade Ogre. They just they're one of those exchanges that are just so old school mentality that it just takes me back to like a special place from a few years ago, where you just had these exchanges that just have this old school mentality to them, and everybody was like that back in the day. Obviously things aren't exactly like that now, so if you're on Trade Ogre, check us out. We're on there. We're going to start doing a lot more interviews and mentioning them as well. Love those guys.
Awesome.
What they're doing. It's fantastic.
So I heard ChangeAngel, Bittrex, some Vietnamese foreign exchanges, a couple atomic swaps. That's really awesome. I'm glad to see that you guys are really expanding, getting the reach out there. More and more people are learning about Potcoin, especially as people are seeing what's going on in the global economy and looking into North Korea and all of their stuff. People have come across when you guys got what's his face, Dennis Rodman, over to North Korea. Can you talk a little bit more about that and that campaign?
Yeah, of course. It started out as a couple of guys in our community had the idea, and they were sitting around one day and just, one of them he's just such a genius, creative genius. He just had it. Man, wouldn't it be cool to, like, we sent Dennis Rodman to go negotiate peace with North Korea, and we got on the phone and made some phone calls, and Dennis loved the idea, and we were just so stoked to make it happen. It was one of those things where we were sort of at a low point in our timeline, I guess would be a good way to put it, where we, 2013, we had this idea, or I should say, Joel and Nick had this idea in 2013, and like, we just expected that this would have happened by 2015. I don't know. I guess we just kind of expected, like, legalization would have happened. It would have just, like, started like a wave coming across the states, and it didn't. So here we are now in 2017, and it's like, okay, well, it's been 3.5 years. What are we doing here? Are we going to continue this project? What's going on? So when this idea came up, it was just like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's see how this turns out. Let's see how the average person is going to react to a cryptocurrency for the cannabis industry, and let's throw this out there and see how the world reacts to it. I mean, we love it. If we love it, listen. I read a long time ago an article about somebody putting cannabis plants in outer space, and so I mean, you've got to have that cannabis smoking mentality, like, oh yeah, this is something completely wild. And so it just
that high thought.
Yeah, you said it, buddy. And so yeah, we were extremely lucky. I mean, we're all marketing guys, so that makes sense. But anybody who knows anything about marketing knows that it's not just being talented or having good ideas, or even having those ideas executed. Probably the most important thing is timing, and it worked out really well for us in the sense that we had a ton of new visitors. I can't tell you how many people were writing us every day saying, how do I get Potcoin? And okay, well, you're familiar with cryptocurrency? What's that? Are you familiar with Bitcoin? No, what's that? People were writing us who didn't know what Bitcoin was. And I got to tell you, man, that was the changing point of my life.
Yeah, and that was just 3 years ago. So I'm excited, and I'm glad for what you guys did. That was a great marketing campaign. It got a lot of people interested. It's how I learned about Potcoin. But it's been 3 years, and I haven't seen another marketing campaign like getting Dennis Rodman to go to North Korea to negotiate peace. What's the next, campaign that could be done, especially with everything that's going on right now with Black Lives Matter and the protests across the country? Is there any way that there could, be a partial marketing campaign, but at the same time, this is something that, like you said, we all love this. I love this idea. You love this idea, and there's the need is there for companies all across the country that are trying to sell legal cannabis, but don't have a bank or any financial infrastructure for them to be able to go around with their finances. So wouldn't it be great to be able to kind of do a collective push with getting the Black community to be more awoke to Potcoin through, Black Lives Matter and the current I wouldn't say pandemic, the current events that are happening at the moment? What do you think about that idea?
I love it. I'll tell you the reason why we haven't done any big marketing since then. It's not because we don't have the capability. It was really because when we had done the event with Dennis Rodman, we weren't technically prepared for the outcome. And I think in order for the average person to adopt a cryptocurrency, you really have to have every single thing in line. I mean, they have to open up your app and it's got to look exactly like Cash App or Venmo. I mean, you can't. You've got to take all the challenges away and just make it as easy as possible. And in 2017 and 2018, I can't tell you that we were there. I think that this is something that people are understanding now, and it's something that the crypto community has had to sort of let the fruit kind of ripen, and I think that we're really getting to that spot. We love marketing. It's probably the thing that comes naturally to us the most. But we also felt over the last few years that if we had done something, it would have been artificial, and we're not into the Dennis Rodman thing. Was very much not artificial. Our goals are not artificial, and we didn't want people to take us as something artificial. So we didn't put our energy into marketing. We've been putting our energy into strategy and how to surf the wave that's coming with the legalization of cannabis, and knowing where to turn next. I love the idea of going into a new marketing campaign. I love the idea of unity and of everybody working together to make changes in this world and make things better, safer, and for every person of every color, from every background. It's something that definitely resonates very strongly with me. And so I think we're almost at that time. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff that's really on the verge. So I think it's time for us to start getting back into the marketing. And obviously now is a great time with all the things that are going on. There's so many people charged out there. Like I said earlier, like crypto is it's really, it's at that point where we can make that difference, and there's people that are charged, and that energy needs to be directed somewhere. So what better way than to direct the energy in a positive manner where people can actually make a difference? And I
absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, like this, like everything we do should be for our children. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, no matter how old you are, 20 years or older, you're going to blink and you're going to be 50, you're going to blink and you're going to be 80. And so what are we leaving behind? And I think that's these are the reasons, like why the good projects are out there. And I would encourage every single person who's in crypto to have two mentalities, at least have the good side of the mentality. But I know most people are there, a lot of people are there for the day trading. So I would say to those day traders should have at least two mentalities. Okay, fine, you're going to do your day trading. We understand that this is the way the world works, right? But the mentality of which projects are going to make a difference for the community as a whole. And that is where your long trades, if you will, if that's what you're into, should really be. And obviously, we know who those projects are, and I'm personally very bullish on all of them. And that's what it's about.
I love that you bring up the unity and getting us together, and I think that should be the major goal with the campaign, is bringing together that unity both across BLM and the industries that are basically forgotten, and bringing everybody together, because honestly it's all coming down to where we want to spend our money, and where those communities that are affected of culture, of color, that feel like they're not being heard. If you're not being heard, don't spend your money in places that aren't hearing you. Spend your money in the places that are hearing you. And I think that Potcoin is a community that definitely can grow and flourish by the people that are not being heard, and that want to be able to utilize their money in the right way that will benefit the community and leave that legacy that you're talking about behind. I want to see a legacy where my kids could just be able to go to a store and buy weed just the same way as we can go buy alcohol. And I definitely think that it should be a bigger, broader network for people to get connected in this space, and meet all of the right people to come up with an idea while you're smoking at a lounge, and be able to go from a concept to a full-blown project. And that's one of the things that Bits and Tokens, our company, has really been pushing to be able to do, and helping other companies, helping other people to be able to have an event, grow your marketing, grow your network in virtual reality, in the real world. We have audio, video, and we can be able to help with those events to be able to showcase what you have and the content you want to share with the world. So if there's content that you guys want to do, bringing that unity together, I want to help. Let's put it into VR. Let's bring everybody together that's terrified of getting affected by COVID. They don't have to go out in the real world and get infected. They can stay right from their home, join into the conversation, talk with people in the real world, and really unify across the board, both blue, red, doesn't matter, all around the world. I can't wait as we collaborate and grow together. It's been a pleasure having you up here talking about this and educating us about Potcoin and, what we're able to do and the possibilities with this technology. Is there any last words, anything that you want to let the audience know and how they can get in contact with you?
Sure. Yeah, you can reach out to me on the Potcoin site, on Telegram, t.me/Potcoin420. I'm one of the moderators on there. Please reach out to me personally if anybody has any ideas or thoughts, or they think that things should be done a certain way. I mean, listen, this is about community. Nobody's got the right answer. Nobody's got the wrong answer. Our interest is in making sure that we're all going the same direction, so that way we can achieve the most amount of success and greatness for our common beliefs. So I would say, final words would be that. And I have to tell you, we've got a lot of things coming up this year that are going to be game changers for Potcoin, and I'm not even supposed to talk about any of that stuff yet, but I'm giddy about it, and I'm so excited for what we have coming up. We've really had some rough times in the sense of where things have been in the last few years. We had some members of our team be sick and stuff like that, but I think over all those challenging times, we've really had the time to sit back, think, and strategize over what where we want to be and how we want to get there. And I'm very excited for our project and for the community overall. And any of you guys who are here listening to this on YouTube or checking this out or here in VR, listen, keep your eye out, because we're going to be a monster. I mean, we've got such great stuff coming that I really think that the community is going to be so satisfied with the last 7 years that we put in playing chess. And I mean that when I say we're going to be a monster, I'm really referring to what our goal is to help for not only Potcoin, but for the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. We're gunning for a lot of great things, and we've got a lot of great people involved with us, and we're so fortunate and lucky to have the support of those people and those individuals and their projects. And again, anybody who's working on something, crypto cannabis related, or if they have any ideas, not any ideas, but any questions on crypto as a whole, or ideas of where things are going. I'm getting some audio in here. Please reach out to us. Our door is always open for anybody in the community. Are you guys getting that?
Awesome. No, I don't hear anything, but I want to let Josh go ahead and say anything that you want to close out, how people can get in contact with you and Blockchain in the Burgh.
Hey, Josh, thank you so much. That was phenomenal. It's so exciting to hear about what you all in the Potcoin community are working on. I'm a big advocate for both cryptocurrency commerce use cases and cannabis myself, so we're very thankful to you and the work that you're doing. In terms of Blockchain in the Burgh, you can find us on Twitter at BlockchainBurgh, and you'll find myself at ChainToots, Rebecca White at I Make Lemonade, and at LT Loves Digi. That's our main community. And you can find me and my educational stuff individually at chaintuts.com.
Thanks for joining us, you both. It's been a pleasure. Again, I'm Jerome from Bits and Tokens. This is Blockchain Universe's Crypto Chat, closing out.